Let's talk about something that honestly is every parent's worst nightmare. What do you do when your child is being harassed online? It's a terrifying thought, but really understanding your options, that's the very first step toward getting back control in this digital world we all live in.
You know, that moment you find out your child is being harassed online, it can leave you feeling completely terrified and helpless. That feeling, it's a totally natural reaction. It just shows how much you care. But here's the thing I want you to remember. You are not powerless. There are very real, very concrete steps you can take.
And I really want to stress this. You are absolutely not alone. So many families are going through this, and there's help out there. We're here to offer the support and, frankly, the effective guidance you need to get through this.
To really get a handle on how these situations can play out, I think it's helpful to walk through a real-world case we handled. This story really shines a light on just how complicated online harassment can get, but more importantly, it shows there is a clear path to safety.
Okay, so before we dive into the details, it's really important for you to know that for her privacy, we have changed Megan's name and some other details. We're doing this so we can share the important lessons from her case while making sure her identity is completely protected. So, how did this all start? Well, it began as a seemingly harmless online friendship back in 2015. But over the next 4 years, things took a dark turn. It devolved into manipulation and control, with the harasser, Anna, even pressuring Megan, who has Asperger's, to send her money. By 2019, her parents were, understandably, incredibly worried, and the harassment just got worse, with Anna using anonymous accounts to post really awful stuff. Of course, Megan's parents did exactly what any of us would do. They tried to step in. They wrote a letter to Anna, pouring their hearts out, explaining the terrible harm she was causing. But did it stop? No. The harassment just changed shape. Anna just got sneakier, shifting to more indirect tactics that made everything even more stressful. And this brings us to a huge problem that a lot of families run into. What on earth can you do when the person doing the harassing lives in another country? In this case, Anna was in Poland, and that can make you feel like your hands are completely tied.
This is such a critical point. There's this huge misconception that if the harasser is overseas, you're powerless, but that is just not true. Under English law, what matters is where the victim is. That means we could take legal action right here in the UK, which is, a massive relief for parents.
So once we knew we could act, it was time to put together a solid, methodical strategy for Megan's parents. The whole idea was to build a protective legal wall, not just, play defense every time a new attack happened. Our plan was broken down into 4 clear steps. Think of it like a roadmap to safety. First, gather all the evidence. Second, send a formal legal letter to the harasser. Third, go to the social media platform itself to unmask those anonymous accounts. And fourth, if needed, get a court order, an injunction to stop all contact. It's a structured approach that works. The first move was to make things official. We sent a formal letter of claim and had it personally served to Anna in Poland. This wasn't just an email, it was a serious legal document. But she didn't respond. That silence meant we had to move on to the next step in our plan. Now, going to court is a big, expensive step. So before doing that, we explored a much more direct and cost-effective route. We went straight to Meta, the company that owns Facebook and Instagram. But we didn't just file a standard report. We gave them a detailed breakdown of the entire case, including medical evidence showing the real harm it was causing Megan. And it worked. Success. After reviewing all the evidence we provided, Meta removed Anna's main Instagram account. And just like that, the harassment stopped. It was a huge victory, and we got it done without a long, drawn-out court battle. Megan's story really just perfectly illustrates why getting professional legal help on board early can be a total game changer. There's a massive advantage to having experts in your corner who know exactly how to handle these things. I mean, think about it from their perspective. These social media giants get thousands, maybe millions of reports every single day. But when a detailed, evidence-backed case comes from a law firm, it gets their attention, it gets prioritized, and that means you get faster, more effective results, just like in Megan's case. And this is so important to remember. Trying to engage with a harasser yourself, whether you're the parent or the victim, can actually pour gasoline on the fire. It can make them escalate their behavior, or it can just make them better at hiding what they're doing. A formal legal approach, on the other hand, draws a very clear line in the sand. Okay, so let's shift gears and talk about you. If you're in this awful situation or you suspect your child is, what are the first things you should be doing to keep them safe? Here is your crucial checklist. First, keep an eye on your child's online world. Second, document absolutely everything. Screenshots are your best friend here. This is your evidence. Third, and this is tough, do not engage with a harasser. Don't reply. Fourth, and maybe the most important, keep reassuring your child that this is not their fault. And finally, think about getting professional legal advice sooner rather than later. The key takeaway here is that acting fast isn't an overreaction. It's the smartest thing you can do. Taking these steps quickly can stop the harassment in its tracks before it escalates and does more damage to your child's well-being.
Look, we really hope this explainer has shown you that there is a way through this. You're not stuck. You have options, you have power, and you have support. Taking that first step, that's how you start to reclaim your child's safety and your family's peace of mind.
If any of this sounds familiar, if you need help, please don't go through it alone. Don't hesitate to reach out to us for a confidential chat. All our contact info is right there for you. Getting the right guidance can make all the difference in protecting your child.